You're muted.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Least We Could Do with your hosts, Jimmy and Dwayne.
That's right. That's right. Jimmy and Dwayne here to save the day, folks. It's The Least We Could Do every Saturday, 8 to 10 Central Standard Time. Set your clocks to stun, folks. We've got a jam-packed show for you tonight, coming to you from Austin, Texas. I could not do this show without the two most important men in my life, other than the other important men in my life. And that's Dwayne Primo, my co-host. We are co-hosts. We are equals. I am not above you, but my name does come first when it's spelled alphabetically. Dwayne, how are you?
No, my name comes first. D comes before J
in your alphabet. Okay. How are you?
I'm wonderful, sir. Okay. I'm wonderful. I'm happy that it's Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I get to hang out with my buddies who I haven't spoken to all fucking week.
And we're here. We're here for you.
Thankful. And I'm giving thanks.
And that's good that you're saying that.
I'm giving thanks, Jimmy.
You're getting in the holiday spirit. It's been hard for us. Right, Kyle, our producer. How are you?
Doing good. You know, I'm just giving thanks.
Yes, that's the drinking word of the night. We're just jumping right into it. Sometimes we forget to tell you what the drinking word is until later, but we've already started playing along, and then by the time we tell you, we're well into it. So, drinking word of the night tonight is thanks. Now, why is it thanks, guys? Because between now and our next show, we are going to have Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Now, this is a holiday.
Thanksgiving 2020.
Do you guys know what this holiday is about and what it's for?
Not anymore.
This was social studies week in first grade.
What?
Tell me more,
Jimmy. A lot about Thanksgiving.
What did you teach the little one about?
We did a happy Thanksgiving, math, coloring, and what did I teach her?
Well, I'm interested to know, like, is that narrative of the Pilgrims came here and they had trouble planting seed, and the Indians came down and made them a Thanksgiving dinner and everybody had a good time? Is that still the same narrative?
That's the narrative we're going with for now. You know, she's 6, Jimmy. The first Thanksgiving lasted for 3 days. It was a celebration. There was lots of corn.
But they didn't wear masks.
Colors. It wasn't all yellow. There were some black pieces and some brown pieces and some red pieces.
Yeah, okay. We've all seen the corn
maze. You know?
We are well versed in this. So it's look, Thanksgiving is going to be different this year. And
I'll be honest, being that it's 2020, there might have been a little bit of talk about smallpox. And, you know, how our ancestors may have brought some diseases over that killed some folks who we thought of as less than us.
Okay. All right. So this is a good time to maybe bring some of those things to light. You know, the fact that even back then there were communicable diseases, and the new folks that we ran into, which we thought this was India. Let's be clear. The reason they were called Indians is because the first people that got here were dumb. They were smart enough to fight to sail a boat, but
hold on.
They got here and they thought it was India. Okay.
I take issue with saying the first people to get here called them Indians. Because they weren't the first ones to get here.
Okay, so you're going to say the Vikings knew what they got. They knew.
Yeah. They knew what they were getting
They're
into.
no dummies. It was
The Vikings came over. Here's the thing: the Vikings came over.
Myself.
Yeah, okay, we'll see you later.
The Vikings came over and started banging people and didn't kill any of them.
I love how sometimes
they spread
we start going, and then Kyle just sits there and he's like, "Wait, they're not going to talk to me anymore. I might as well just go to my corner and drink." And then, to the people at home, just so you know, we still see what he's doing. And
we can see him in the back of the studio
taking his shirt off right now and kicking his feet back and just enjoying himself. So look, thanks is the drinking word. That was my point. And then also I would just like to say, during the week leading up to the show, I go through these ebb and flows. Like Monday, I want to quit. I want to just tell you guys, let's just delete the channel. Let's just never do this. I'm not good enough, and I'm not smart enough, and I'm not interesting enough or funny enough to do this show, and I'm done, right? But
all these things are true.
Yes, but I don't.
But you have Kyle and I.
But I don't reach out to you, so we never have the conversation, so it doesn't ever get brought up. And then Tuesday, I'm like, you know what? I'm in. I'm gonna do this show. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be amazing. And then Wednesday comes, and once again, I'm like, you know what? Nothing interests me. Nothing is interesting, and that's what because I'm gathering stuff. I'm like, what are we gonna bring to the show? But look, to make a long story short, we all need something to hold on to during this whole quarantine time, right? And this is it for me. If this is my canary in the coal mine, if you guys don't see me show up for a show on Saturday, I've gone off the rails. I'm living off the grid. I'm like looking for morel mushrooms and eating possum.
I mean, that's better than what I was thinking, because I was thinking that if this show, by you saying that this show was your canary, I thought that you were saying that if this show fails, you're going to kill yourself.
Oh, no. This will fail.
Absolutely.
This will fail. This show.
Some might say it has. Like 5 episodes ago.
Look, I was reading People magazine. They said the 100 worst podcasts.
The least we could do is the worst.
And we were all of them. We were 1 to 100. It was all. I'm loving to see in our chat, and if you're joining us on Facebook, awesome. If you're joining us on YouTube, love you as well.
Man, I'm behind on the chat.
Definitely want to get people subscribing to our YouTube page. Once we get to a certain number of viewers, more interesting things can happen on the YouTube. Like we can go live from there for some other stuff, and expect more Steam videos from old Jimmy. We're gonna be doing that. So we got Bill and Pete or Pedro Gray in the chat already. They're probably watching the Oklahoma State game. Bill's a Cowboy, and
Bill's had a whole conversation that I wasn't even paying attention to.
Well, I don't know if that's a play. He says could be curtains for curtain. Let me tell you.
Kyle's yelling at me in the private chat. I don't understand why. He put my name in all caps. Like, Dwayne, you do this.
What did you do? What did you do wrong?
I don't know. I don't understand his English.
Tell him to explain himself. But Bill and Pete are part of a they're part of a traveling theatrical group that come into town every year. And Bill's written a play called the Honky Tonk Holidays, and I believe this is the 30th year of the Honky Tonk Holidays, and
he wrote its 29th year.
What?
I saw it in its 29th year.
Oh yes, you did last year. So the show must go on. We're gonna be doing the show, and when I say we, I'm in it. So more information's coming. I knew I was going to reach out to Bill.
to the side of it.
Well, yeah,
basically.
but at one point
Your voice is in it.
I do climb
lot.
up on stage and I sing.
Gingerly.
Yeah.
You climb gingerly upon the stage.
Yeah, I am not that nimble. But the Honky
Grace?
Tonk Holidays, you're going to
Not your
get more
strong suit.
information. And who knows if Bill's not too drunk or if he's drunk enough. Maybe he'll tune in later on in the show after we have our second guest. And I was going to ask him if he wanted to, maybe him and Amanda Lynn got on here and maybe sang a song, but I didn't want to put him on the spot. So
well,
I
also know we know how much both of them enjoy doing memes with us. So they could always come on and do memes with us.
It would be perfect. It would be something to maybe take his mind off of the thrashing that the Cowboys are taking from the Sooners right now. And you're right. FOU, they're the worst. So what are we doing tonight? And speaking of curtains, our first guest tonight is Kevin Curtin. And it's there's no A in Curtin, but I on the flyer I
wouldn't know it.
I spelled it wrong. Yeah, I put CURTAIN, and that's wrong. It's CURTIN, and I'd like to.
I don't know who this Pedro guy is, but you are sadly mistaken, sir.
Who?
This Pedro guy.
Why is he? What did he say?
Of the show.
I am the star.
Not the star of the show.
Yeah. No, he's right.
No,
he gets it.
Totally
and
wrong.
I am thankful for you, Pedro. Now, let me tell you this. Pedro is a very smart man. He's a man of means, and he cares about the community. He's in the play. He plays the bartender, and but before the show, we have a little time to chit chat, and I outed him a while ago. I don't know what it was, but somebody posted something like, "Hey, where's Pete?" And then I said, "Well, he's probably busy talking smack on Gregorio Casar's Facebook page." He and Gregorio Casar, we need to have some sort of summit. Do you know who he is? He's a city council member here in Austin, and I believe he takes care of Pete's district, which, if you look up Gregorio Casar, you'll find Pete somewhere in there. It'll be like Pete's house in the middle of the district. And he doesn't like him.
Is that like spelled Caesar with like a weird accent somewhere?
Casar?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a tilde on there, or an accent point, or maybe an inya. I don't know. So don't go there. And then don't do it. And then this is the thing. I am thankful for my friends that have different views. Mm-hmm. I'm just right now just trying to use the word thank in as many different possible ways as possible. And he takes his time to comment on every single one of his council members' posts, not with constructive criticism, but criticism. And sometimes constructive criticism isn't very constructive at all. It's all sometimes like a
destructive criticism.
Yeah. Like, why can't you see? You must obviously be blind that you can't see that these policies you're putting into place are worthless and are devaluing our properties. You
talking to this guy like a ref at a little league game.
Yeah. But I called him out on it, and he's since stopped commenting. So I feel bad that I shamed a friend from social discourse and participating in the political process. So what do we got? Everyone needs a troll. He's District 4. He's not that bad. I do appreciate it. See, by bringing it up, because look
at you bridging the gap.
This is what I'm saying. I made a little joke like, "Oh, Pete's busy talking shit on Casar's page," and then a couple other people were like, Oh yeah, I've seen those. Oh yeah, because like anytime Kassar's stuff would pop up, it would be like new initiative to help the city, blah blah blah, and then it'd be like another one your pipe dreams.
I'm proud of you, man. Like,
but
you're always saying how you want to bridge the gap between people
done
with
it.
differing opinions, and you finally accomplished a goal.
And look, one of my good friends is working for Kassar's administration now. She's like the person that talks on camera and stuff. And
She's like the Kaylee McEnany.
Yeah.
His
the
fucking
Kaylee
camera.
McEnany of the Kassar administration. And I hope to get Gregorio Kassar on the show, and I hope that we could bring these two together, because I'm telling you, I didn't break them. I did not break Pete, Bill. But I think that they've got a lot in common, and we're gonna be talking to our second guest tonight is Kelly Stone, and she is. I met her doing comedy here in Austin, so I met her on the stage, rubbed elbows with her there, did a podcast with Dan French a while ago called Geometry. We had her on as a guest.
Can I ask you a quick question? I hate to interrupt. You know I hate to interrupt.
No, yeah.
Is this another one of these women that didn't know they dated you?
What do you mean, these women?
We've had a string of female guests who were not aware that they were dating you at some point.
I'm pretty sure she's well aware that we were dating. Now, there was no physical contact, and we never actually went out and were seen
consummated
together.
the relationship.
Yeah. No, but no, we did not date. She moved down to San Marcos, or maybe she's been down there this whole time. She's a San Martian, and San Marcos, if you don't know, folks, is just right down the highway, the home of Texas State. They won tonight, which is amazing. So she's been down there and fighting the good fight for a lot of the environmental concerns. There's a lot of problems with the river and trash and what
college kids pissing in it.
Well, yeah, it's not just the piss, it's the garbage and the runoff from the unchecked growth and development that's going on down there. And so she ran for during the Democratic primary, she ran for the railroad commissioner, and I'm hoping that she's going to be able to tell us a little bit about what the railroad commissioner does. It's a bullshit title for a very important job, and Pete probably has got some comments on the railroad.
Is it a state job?
It's an elected position, and yes,
state position, though, right?
Yeah. Ultimately, what they do. Well, I'll let her explain it, but
I'm guessing the railroad commissioner currently, excuse me, is kind of a douchebag from what I can understand. I don't know who it is.
I mean, most of them are. They're handpicked by the oil industry normally, and then and it's got nothing to do with railroads, and she'll pull the veil away from that. But what I'm saying is, she got mad. She got mad. He does have a tail. She got mad, and she didn't just take to yelling into the void. She put her money where her mouth was. I don't know what that means. And then she went and tried to win the nomination. Now she was beat by another Democratic candidate, and I don't know what the results of the race are. Does anybody know who won? Travis?
I don't know who the fuck I voted for.
Commissioner. I don't know either. So look,
if there was more than one Democrat running for the position, then I voted for the female Democrat.
Is that how? Well, that was during the primary
criteria this year.
That would have been back in the primary. So if you voted in the Democratic primary, I believe there was five different candidates up for Texas commissioner. But so it got split the Democratic winner went up against somebody, and then so there was a Republican and a Democrat. This is how elections work, by the way. And so there's a Democrat and a Republican, and
Why
then
does Amber keep trying to change our drinking word of the day?
online only
Online only girlfriends.
Okay, is that us?
I don't know. Are we your online only girlfriends, Amp?
Also, look, we're going to
Yes,
be
Chris,
getting our
that's all.
yes, Chris. We're here. My boy Chris, he's in DC, living the good life in
The nation's capital.
the nation's capital. Hopefully, he survived the Million MAGA March last week, and
more like the 10,000 mega march.
he's got his finger on the pulse. Maybe we'll have to have him on the show to tell us a little bit about what's going on down in Georgia. He's working on helping the Democrats with the runoff. There's 2 runoffs for the Senate race. Basically, gonna set the tone for what we do over the next
The great state of Georgia.
So there's 2 Senate races that are still up for grabs. So far, the recounts have all been just about the same numbers. In Georgia, there was like 1,000 or 1,200 votes that they discounted, so the margin went down a little bit, but it still wasn't enough.
I saw one. There was 2,500 votes from one county that hadn't gotten counted initially, and they were like, "Yeah, 2,500 votes," and like 800 of them were Trump. It's not helping.
Also joining us, good to see you, Aaron, of the Talking Beard
Boys
show. Their name came up in a meeting earlier today. I'm sure we'll be talking about something. So with them, and then I was thinking that maybe we get them on the show next week. We'll have to talk to those boys and see if they want to join us for our post-Thanksgiving show.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I was just going to say something. Oh, yeah, the boxes. The boxes are back in play.
Oh, yeah.
Kyle,
hey, before you get into the boxes.
Okay.
I did a little something this morning.
Oh, yeah. What'd you do?
I had a guest appearance on a very, very popular, one of its kind podcast called Strain on Society.
Strain on Society with our friend Paul Hendricks.
Paul E.
Hendricks, author, dog owner,
extraordinary,
former co-founder of Bully Ranch. Yeah. So I don't want you to spoil the show, but how was this going? Because you went on location, did the show in his studio there. How was that? How did you feel about that?
It was good. We were sequestered. He wouldn't let me come through the house, so I had to jump a fence and then climb up to the second floor balcony.
Right.
And then he didn't open the door. He just kind of passed a joint through the glass, cracked it. And I sat out on the balcony and recorded the episode. It was great, man.
Everybody had their own. It was a roll your own.
There's no sharing of. I brought him a couple of party favors, and we had a good conversation. It was solid.
Did you talk about your childhood trauma?
No. Oh, my childhood problem?
Your childhood trauma?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
That one time.
My trauma.
Did you talk about that one time? No.
We talked about that one time I put my tongue in his mouth.
What? You guys tongue kissed?
Yeah.
That's weird.
It was nice. It was warm. Moist.
So confusing sometimes. But that's fine. Everybody can tongue kiss. Everybody can tongue kiss sometimes.
Not all the time.
So pull out your tongue. Kyle. Join me.
Kyle.
Yeah, what's up?
What'd you get in your boxes? So I called him on Friday and said, hey, boxes are in play. We've got about 3 hours. If you meet at this parking lot, Tell us about the whole thing in 3 minutes or less.
For those of you who haven't caught on yet, Jimmy has sucked Kyle into Jimmy has sucked Kyle into his Amazon box.
Number one, Kyle,
weird
you were on time, and tell us everything from when I sent you the address to when you arrived.
So yeah, he sends me this address to this place, and the gate's locked. So I'm like texting him, like, I'm on my way. I'm like, all right, cool. And then he's like, oh, he didn't even text me or anything. I just happened to look up and I see him do this.
Follow me.
And so I fucking follow him, and we go to this apartment complex. We basically just drove around for like 15 minutes. Now Jimmy is a terrible driver, because there was somebody that came in behind him as I was turning around, and he's going 2 miles an hour.
I was stuck in third gear, dude, and that hill was super super steep, and I was scared. And then I downshifted to second, but it still wasn't enough. And so, but then at that point, the guy was like on my butt. So I was going to stall. It was a steep incline, man.
All right.
And so I just had to go 5 miles per hour up the.
That's fair. So we finally figure out that they're meeting at this church like an hour later, and like 45 minutes later. So we go over there. Apparently, this church gets donated when Amazon has a bunch of overs. Well, we think that Amazon companies that have a whole bunch of overstock in their
everything about it seems so goddamn shady, doesn't it?
Yeah, not really.
I gotta be honest. I was privy to the group text that all of this was going down in, and I saw photos being shared and a couple of videos, and I gotta admit, I was concerned for you guys' safety for a little bit because it looked sketchy. And then we know that I've had my suspicions about this whole Amazon box fiasco.
Right.
So,
okay, well, it's legit. I think it's just all like closed stock stuff that they're putting in these boxes, and I think they're giving them to charities, right? And then the charities sell the boxes. I'm thinking they're expecting the people to maybe open the boxes and give the stuff away to their charity people, the people that need the charity, right? But I think it's probably best for these charities to just sell the boxes and get them out of their lives, because when you only got 2 boxes. So you got a small window of success with the box game here.
Yeah, this is the burning question.
What'd you get?
I got a USB charger / hand warmer. I got some shoe stackers. I got a Trump sign, a sticker, some Star Wars stickers.
Let's talk on that.
A shower curtain.
Star Wars shower curtain.
Oh, and then
some solar powered lawn ornaments.
Those are cool,
dude. Just a bunch of random ass shit. I got 2 bags of yarn. That is the string that they put on those the masks that go around your ear. So it's that little stretchy string.
String.
Get a couple of those. Fucking weird. Just a bunch of weird shit that some of it I'm gonna use.
I got a lot of exercise bands, like the stretchy bands, and then
use those?
No, I'll sell those, and then lots. I am, no whisks this time. Thank God, no.
I think
whisks.
I saw some of the whisks at Paul and Diane's.
Yeah. Oh, they've got whisks. They've got whisks, and
sounds whiskey.
It's a whiskey situation.
I am the king of, I don't even know what these are called. They're not urinal cakes, but they're the plastic things with all the fingers that you pee into.
I'd call you the king of urinal cakes.
Okay, thank you.
King of
I'll
cakes.
take
Easy. Yeah.
Put Austin's comment up there.
I like this one better. Actually, Amber, Jimmy's box contains some hair removal cream that we're going to apply to Jimmy live on the show.
hair removal cream. I've got so many different hair attachment, like different hair attachments for clippers, rainbow colored. I got some of those really nice hair trimmers.
Did you get anything that you're going to use personally?
We're looking for an intern, and if you want to join our team, call the number below or email us at the.least.we.could.do.show@gmail.com.
Anytime you read the email,
that's the worst email address ever.
I don't know. Look, everything else just fell into place. I was like, there's no way. There's no way that the leastwecouldddo.com is available, which I set up that page. I haven't been back to it. I don't even know what it looks like. So don't go to our website. I think all the links are there. But the leastwecouldddo.com, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a cakewalk. We got the least we could do, or we got least we could do on Twitter, and then we got the least we could do on Instagram. We got the least we could do on the Facebooks and Twitch. What did we get? The least we could do?
I don't know.
Like XB2YC.
It's the least we could do.
Okay. And YouTube, we can't name it yet until we get enough people. Like enough people have to like it for you to name it. It's like the stupidest thing. But
anyway,
right.
Accepting interns to apply hair removal cream to Jimmy's body.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do it. Okay.
Just not the face.
Also, Amber, I see that you're out there. One time we were talking about some of the stuff that I've got a lot of, and it's come to a head here where I need to unload it. Like one of these boxes, Dwayne, is a box of boxes of feminine products. So like I've got overnight pads up my butt, you know, and then not only that, I've got like
traumatic injuries.
Well, yeah,
you know,
I'm sure.
You're prone to accidents and whatnot.
So I'm wondering where our guest is. He's a little late. So oh, keep filling. I was gonna do something and then you were gonna keep talking. So but I didn't communicate that to you. So these boxes, once again, have ruined my life.
Bonnie will do it.
The Murphy bed is up in the air. I can't put the bed down. I've got too many boxes. And then not only that, but I bought 2 boxes for some friends. So I have, oh, she's an LMT.
She's licensed to apply lotion.
And is she
I didn't mean to say it that way.
Yes.
She's licensed to apply
ready.
lotion.
Yes, we ready.
We ready. We like lunch meat. Always ready.
So I don't know what licensed military technician, medical technician. The thing that scares me about doing during the show hair removal thing is because I imagine that's like an acid or something that shouldn't stay on your skin for too long.
Oh, let's leave it for the whole show then.
No. And
let's see how bad it burns your skin.
I mean, this is a considerable amount. This is not terrible. I have seen
back.
Huh? My back is relatively clear.
Your nipples. That's weird.
I wasn't. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Let's pull the pants up. But I think you're gonna see like maybe a side patch or something.
There's a little bit right around the
here.
Yeah.
So there you go. You're welcome for that. You
would definitely have to shave to get a tramp stamp.
So let's think about it. I think if we were going to do it and we were to bring in interns to rub the lotion on my body, right, we would want to do this as like a pre-recorded thing for the show. I just don't want to be stuck in a situation where my body starts burning on camera and then I have to hop in the shower. So perfect segue talking about cream on your body, because Up next is our guest, who currently has probably been applying cream to a certain little thing's body for a couple weeks now, maybe months. He likes to put cream on things. And let's see an intro video. I want to introduce Mr. Kevin Curtin of the Austin Chronicle. He's a writer. He's got his finger on the pulse of the music scene here, and he's an important person. I believe he's on Gregorio Casar's advisory team for all the homeless issues. And he also is a member of a band, but he said, let's not talk about my band. Don't mention my band at all, because we have nothing going on. So do not talk about my band. So we're not going to talk about his band in any way, shape, or form. But let's get to know Kevin Curtin and some of his superpowers right now.
I'm telling you, man, MJ can't guard me. Jump hook, baby. Can't guard that. Step back. Let's cross this fool up. I'm gonna guard the detail. Hold on. Euro. Put you in the spin cycle. Spin it on you, spin it on you, spin it on. About to hit MJ with that U-tap two-step. Poster! Fucking child molester.
Let's welcome to the show Mr. Kevin Curtin, everybody.
Welcome, sir.
Swish, points, no
fucking
fouls.
Star turn in basketball.
Look at you. What's your mask say? Still eating bats, though. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It's like I'm being safe, but I'm not being that safe.
Look, everybody is kind of doing it their own way. Are we, Kevin, you, like I said, you've got your finger on the pulse. You've been seeing how everybody's coming out of their homes and starting to interact with each other. Are we doing it right? Are we supporting the music community correctly? Are we breaking any of the rules that you've laid out for us?
I don't know, man. I'm the wrong fucking person to ask, man. Like, I feel like I can swear, right?
Yes.
I'm the wrong fucking person to ask, man. Like, I used to go out 6 nights a week, and then I had a baby at the same time this pandemic started, and now I go out 0 times a week because I can't really go out and be safe because A, I can't trust myself, and B, I can't trust people not to walk up to me, because I've kind of made myself that type of person for the last 10 years. I just so I'm the wrong. I mean, dude, I've just been hanging out in the house. I have no insights to offer you,
You booked the wrong guy, Jimmy.
You booked the wrong guy. I mean, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about aliens.
As you will.
Studying some Egyptology.
We're
on Netflix.
We're sponsored by the Ancient Astronaut Theorist University, and
we are
great.
Yeah, I'm actually the dean, so I made that happen. Yeah. But
here's what I'll say about safety, man. Here's what I'll say about safety. Nothing is really safe. Everything is a risk. There's different levels of risk. There's different, dude, if I didn't have a baby, I would still be doing coke with Asian tourists who I meet, in the beer garden of a music venue. It's all
you're talking about bangers.
Yeah. I mean, it's a distinct possibility that I was patient 0 with COVID, and I got it in November of last year, I don't know, but I don't judge anybody. Like if people want to go to shows, like I think the music is so important for our mental health. I really do, man. I think it's the best psychologist, and I think that it's one of the reasons that there's a lot of good people in Austin is because we all have that therapy. And I don't want to judge anybody who's going and dancing or going to a show or playing shows. I'm just not doing that shit myself because of my own personal situation.
Yeah. Well, and then you didn't just like find the baby there.
I didn't find it. No,
you're married.
I'm not.
You didn't steal it.
You're not married.
We're unwed. Yeah.
Okay. So this is a problem with the Christians. Can we put a disclaimer? Unwed, childbirth, much like Jesus, but not.
Man, fuck the Christians.
You did not have. Did you give birth to Jesus?
No.
Jesus, confirmed or no?
I cannot confirm that he isn't Jesus. Yeah. No, I think there's a possibility.
So the conception was not immaculate, is what you were saying.
It was. Yeah. No. I mean, I think that an immaculate conception is when you lie about fucking somebody.
Yeah, like it was immaculate.
So I will leave that up to my girlfriend.
It wasn't me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So besides the fact that you are, okay, here's your chance to get out of it. Because I'm sure the Pope would forgive you. Do you forgive the Pope for liking that hot webcam girl's ass on Instagram? Did you hear about that?
No, but I briefly I was thinking about trying to figure out what business I was going to start, and one of them was like a clothing brand about the current Pope called Chill Pope. Just kind of capitalizing on him being us having a Pope that's on the right side of social issues.
Right.
So, you could get like a Chill Pope oversized T-shirt and stuff like that. So I would say, yeah. I would say I'm maybe a Chill Pope tall Pope hat. I am in support
with like flaps that come down that you could stick your hands into.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, that'd be so badass.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but you've just sparked a brilliant idea. How about a Pope like hoodie, and then when you pull it up, it's the Pope hat,
Pontiff hat. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not going to even charge you for that consultation.
Could you zip the hoodie down and it's his face with little mesh eyes?
Wow. I mean, I think if I had one of those, I would want the former Pope, Pope Benedict Joseph Ratzinger, because he had like the ghoulish, like dark eyes. And
he did.
He looked like do you guys remember the Undertaker's manager?
Oh, Paul Heyman.
But yeah, Paul Bearer or whatever, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's who that Pope looked like. He was a horrifying looking man.
So now, Mr. Curtin with Noe, how did you do this? Because this baby miraculously came into your life during the pandemic. You pushed this baby out, right? And then now it's there. You gotta feed it. They don't come out like deer. Like deer are able to walk within minutes. Deer are much smarter than human babies. But it's like a scale. Like the babies get smarter faster than the deer. Like they just get the deer plateau earlier. So, but you had a problem because you have other family that want to see this new family. And one of the reasons why I wanted you on the show is because we've got Thanksgiving right around the corner and a whole bunch of people going to see grandma, not knowing that grandma's probably going to be dead at Christmas time because of their actions. They want to get her relish.
Well, no, I think people are making conscious decisions to say, fuck it. I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm going to visit family.
That's fair too, man. Everyone's got to know as long as everybody's aware and educated about the potential risk. I have I have one word that solves it all, and it's a hyphenated word, and it's called travel toilet.
Okay. Yes. Tell us about this. You went to go see your family in your black family in Detroit. Is that right? You have a black family.
No, my family is I Irish white Caucasoidal people.
Oh, okay.
In northern Michigan, and it was a 3-day drive, and we never, we nary crossed paths with another human being, man. We camped out on federal land that you can camp on for free. We pooped in a travel toilet. I mean, I stopped at I have a big gas tank on the van, but I stopped at 6 gas pumps, the whole trip. And other than that, we just ate chips and stuff out of the cooler, and just kind of as an experiment, my parents are high risk. My dad's incredibly high risk. He has Parkinson's and he's old and fucked up and shit, and basically what's the worst case scenario is you come from the city and bring COVID to your elderly family in a small town, right? And some people, are visiting their grandmas who are 90 and shit. So it can be some people think it's a pain in the ass to mitigate risks, but I don't know. We found that to be kind of it was fun. I mean, the only thing I missed about it was
the beef jerky.
Was drugs. No, beef jerky.
Like the White Crosses? Are you a White Cross guy? You buy those tiger pills at the gas station?
Yeah, exactly. I can drive to northern Canada in one night if I get some Yellow Jackets
on a bottle of mini thins.
Oh man,
my hair feels tingly.
I tell you, I just got that feeling of your head just moving subconsciously by thinking about a drive from Tuscaloosa to DC on way too little sleep. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So Kevin, you used to be the star of a play. But you're not.
I was the best supporting actor, Jimmy.
Okay, supporting actor, best supporting actor.
Supporting actor.
So
I
we had our first rehearsal.
Jimmy and I, for anybody listening to this, Jimmy and I were in a play together. He was the narrator, and I was a religious child, a religious bully, you're going to hell, just a.
Now.
You had to remember your lines. You don't get to read them out of a book sitting in a fucking recliner off the side of the stage.
Exactly. Yeah. It's real dedication. And I'm a method actor. So I'm listening to, we do this practice for 2 months, I'm listening to Creed the entire time.
Right.
Flying off the handle and judging people loudly all the time, So it's been weird not to be doing that this year.
No Creed this year?
It's going to be different, but probably better. Not having you on the play, I think.
Appreciate you saying that.
Yeah. I mean, we can't wait to have you back. But I understand, and this is one of those things. We're doing a production in the middle of this thing. How do we do it safely? And so I imagine it's the baby mama saying, "Hey, by the way, you're not allowed out of the house," right?
I mean,
I've seen a lot more articles out of you these days.
I will say this, man. I mean, I don't want to, I'm having to adjust a lot of things in my life. And in a lot of ways, 2020 has been a really hard year because like one of my bands, The Pleasure Tide, is already getting ready to play our, historic fucking residency at the Lost Well, starting that up again, and I'm not doing that. And it's kind of a bummer to miss stuff, but I don't want to be in a group of 15 people right now, especially when there's singing involved, because that's I just see a fountain of fucking spit coming out of your mouth, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Bop, and I know it's not good. I know it's gross and full of COVID germs.
Well, that's why I've been extra clear on everybody just focusing towards the audience, spray them with everything.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
if
I was putting on an event right now, I'd also be worried that we're gonna that Austin's gonna shut down events. I mean, they made the stage 4 announcement, and it's
obviously that's a very real possibility right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna suck for people who are working on something that involves a physical gathering, So I want everything to fucking work for everybody, but just for my personal shit, yeah. Hey, can I ask why the show is called The Least We Could Do?
What?
I mean, I thought that'd be obvious, but you've obviously not seen the show.
I just think go ahead, Jimmy.
Well, it happened like this. We had a Zoom call meeting with like all of our beard friends from the Austin Facial Hair Club. And, we were like, hey, just by the way, everybody, we're thinking about doing this show. We don't really know why. We don't even know what we're going to call it. But
well, we had a possible title.
we had a possible name, but then it was like, but we're just going to do it. It's like, it's the least we could do. And then somebody was like, that's the name of it. And I was like,
just call it that.
Let's see if it's available. leastwecouldddo.com. It is. That's what we're calling it.
That's great. I've always thought that term was so funny, Oh, it's the least I could do, because like
no, there's less that you could always do.
The least you can do is nothing,
Right.
Or like something that is not helpful. Like if you see someone get hit by a car and you just like shine your phone light in their face, or
are you okay?
Yeah.
It always seemed like
I could do.
it's the least we could do was the best way to describe what Jimmy does for the community. He does the least possible thing that he can do and still get just a little bit of acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, this town is special, right? And you were born and raised here. You've lived your whole life here, right?
Who are you talking to?
You,
No,
Kevin.
Neither of us.
So, we've got roots here.
That's true.
I've been here for 10 years now, but one thing I've learned is this is the city where you never have to grow up. It's a city full of Peter Pans, as my exes have told me, and we can reinvent ourselves week in and week out. And like, you've got 2 bands, you write, and then you
like this, right?
And I am a famous podcaster. So look,
Famous podcaster.
But
also not a crook.
There's this is just a thing that we're going to have to deal with. And I mean, creativity's not stopping, for you, right? You're still writing songs. You're still doing the stuff.
Dude, you cannot stop creativity, I think, in a large citywide sense, even when we're talking about the future of Austin. But yeah, during this pandemic, I've been making a lot of stupid videos, which are just a testament to how bored I am. Mm-hmm. I've been recording a new project that's called Goose Jordan that I'm going to start putting out the songs early next year. And I'm like this close to solving like a bunch of mysteries.
Yeah. Like what's one that can you give us a taste of one mystery?
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, the fucking Oak Island treasure. I mean, we are.
I haven't seen the new season yet. Don't spoil nothing.
Yeah.
Didn't it start Tuesday?
I'm ahead of them.
Let me tell you this. They found a Bobby Dazzler.
Top pocket find.
Bobby Dazzlers. And just like wood. They're finding wood.
They're finding a lot of piece of wood. I mean, dude, that I think is the greatest mystery of North America, because
how that show has lasted for 8 seasons. And I've watched every episode, and some of them like 5 or 6 times, because I didn't know I was watching it until like the last 5 minutes.
Because they're all the same. Yeah.
Oh shit! I've seen this episode.
Yeah. They found some.
I do the same shit with Ancient Aliens.
Yeah.
Like I've watched seasons. I've watched a season and then watched that season again, thinking it was another season, and I'm like, this seems familiar.
That's a mistake. You're watching it on. I watch it on Discovery Channel, where something new will eventually come on. If you put it on whatever you're streaming it and it's just playing show after show, that's just a bad idea.
I do want to be out there and say something I'm against. You know, I was watching some of these mummy shows, and they're saying that in the 1800s, you know, a lot of people, Western people, were going to Cairo and bringing back mummies, and you could have a mummy in your house. And people, it was very common. And people just have a fucking mummy, like a sarcophagus, open in their living room. And then high society people would have their friends over for unwrapping parties.
That's awesome. Well, and you know that there was some wife out there that was like, well, Harold didn't want to spring for the adult mummy. He got a child mummy.
That is 100% true, Jim. That's why that was how
probably
child mummies ended up in museums, because people are like, why did I fucking buy this depressing child mummy?
What do you think the over-under is on mummies still existing in Texas, like sarcophagi somewhere in someone's house?
I think that the odds of that are 100%.
I think it's pretty high.
You're not talking like hundreds of years old. You're saying like maybe a month or two old.
No, like
we're talking about
some ancient fucking mummy.
But that was like procured by an oil man and then died in his storage unit. Yeah.
Cattle baron.
But
I just want to get out there. I just want to be ahead of the curve and say I'm against the unwrapping parties.
Okay.
Really?
Unwrapping parties. Well, they're not PC, bro. You shouldn't be doing it.
This dude's been dead for centuries, bro.
What is Pete saying? That's it. In Austin, there is a band for every musician, a play or low-budget movie for every aspiring actor, an audience for almost any production. You're right, Pete.
You know what I would say is Pete is one of the most wise people I know.
Oh, he's the Heat, man. Pete the Heat.
He's totally incorrect about who's the star of this fucking show, though.
Now, have you seen his comments on Gregorio Casar's Facebook page?
No, I don't look at much other people's stuff on Facebook, but I will say that
I'm just saying I'm not one to pitch ideas to you, Kevin, but maybe an article about Pete's comments on Gregorio Casar's Facebook page. Every single one of his posts from maybe 2 years ago to today. If you go on there, there is a Pedro Gray comment, and not only his page, but KXAN. Anything that KXAN has reported about Gregorio Casar, there's a Pedro Gray comment.
And it's all favorable.
No. They don't. Well,
zero.
I believe we've turned the curve. I've brought them back together.
I would say this, as someone who knows both people, I don't think they're that far apart. I think that they would get along.
They're going to be
Jimmy's mediated a truce between the two gentlemen at this point.
But that's great. That's great. But I do think that like we can disagree on shit like that isn't that doesn't have to do with hatefulness and shit like that, man. It's like, man, I'm on the total other side of the Austin thing with the proposition for the train than all my friends. And I think what it was is like I would be against it, right? Like I've spent a bunch of money on the train.
You rent or do you own?
I live in a house that my girlfriend owns, Jimmy. If we
so you were for it, right? You were for Prop A.
The reason I was for Prop A was because I started thinking about it and I imagined, okay, like I looked it up and I was like, okay, the first one's going to be done in like 5 or 6 years. And then this other one, 2 more are going to be done in like 8 and 9 years. And then I was thinking about like, what's my life going to be like then? And I was imagining like my 8 or 9-year-old kid being like, Dad, I want to go, still putting myself first, but in the lens of the family. So
you should totally still put yourself first.
Thank you.
Well, he's going to ask you for that ride during that random day where you're like, you know what? Got the day off. Going to do some day drinking. My kid, I don't have to feed him anymore. Don't worry about him drowning in 2 inches of water like when he was a stupid toddler. And then now he asked you for a ride. You're day drinking on your Miller Lights, and you don't want to take them. But thank God you voted for Prop A, brought to you by Gregorio Casar of District 4.
Is this I'm just catching up. Is this an anti Greg Kissar podcast that I'm on?
I love him.
I don't even know who he is.
I love Pete, but I just love poking the bear.
You're trying to start shit. Well, you know what? I'll tell you as somebody, I don't have strong opinions on it, but Greg Kissar's always seemed like a nice dude to me and smart.
He's super great.
I would say the same thing about Pete the Heat. So hopefully this movie ends by bringing them together.
Yeah, they're gonna ride together on a horse like that Putin and Donald Trump meme.
Oh, shirtless on a white stallion.
But I think it is okay for us to disagree on shit. You know what I mean? I think that's important too. You know?
Well, I would love to have you on the show for another hour, but we probably are going to disagree about that. What's next for you? Where can we find you other than the Austin Chronicle? You write, is it every day you write an article for the Austin Chronicle?
That's not true.
Okay.
I mean, I write. I'm a staff writer at the Austin Chronicle. I'm very lucky.
I love what you do.
I write about music. I write about cannabis, hemp, and I write a little bit about film sometimes and other sometimes funny cultural stuff or nature stuff. And it's not like I just like it. I really doesn't feel like working for the man, and I've been doing it for 7 years, and man, I feel blessed. So hopefully,
what did I call you when I was asking you to be on the show? A tolerable Andy Langer.
Tolerable Andy Langer.
Do you accept that?
I think that Andy Langer is much smarter than me. I think that he is a very, very, very 2 steps ahead mentally.
I think you're very humble. So you will one day get the key to this city. Okay, Kevin Curtin, without an A.
Not asking for it.
I'm telling you.
Just my little small me in the corner, and
I'm starting. And then when the article comes out on KXAN about oh shit, we got to take a quick break. But when the article comes out that they are going to give you the city, and they say that Greg Kissar is going to hand you the key, I hope that Pete's nice about it. Okay, and
if I can use that as a moment to bridge, I don't know what the 2 men's disagreement is, but I know I like both of them, and if I can use that to bring them together, I think that would be a real meaningful thing. And
use the key to the city to open the key to their hearts and bring them together in love.
It'd be cool if you got a key to the city, like a giant key, would then do the biggest key bump ever. Like, you pull out like an ounce of Coke and pour it on the end of the key and just.
You can make it a 3-way key bump between all of these gentlemen.
Kevin, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me on. I had a good time.
Kevin Curtin, everybody, find him at kevincurtin.com. Also, it's pleasuretide.com and CUNTO.com. Both of his bands. You can find Kevin. We'll have all the links.
I'm easy to find. Jerk Curtin on Instagram, and being on the show was the least I could do.
Thanks, buddy. Okay.
See you guys later.
We'll see Kevin later. We're going to take a quick break. Kelly, we're running a little late. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Can you hang on for 2 minutes? Just shake your head. Yes. You look wonderful. We'll be back in just a moment with more of The Least We Could Do with Kelly Stone coming up next.
Stay tuned.
It's Movember, and it's time to grow a stash and help bring awareness to men's health issues,
such as prostate cancer, mental health, and testicular cancer.
Men too often are afraid to look weak or even ask for help.
We want to break that stigma.
Get your balls checked.
Trim up the curlies and get your doodads in the hands of a pro.
And think about it. You can brag to your buddies that somebody actually touched them.
And you won't be lying for once.
Get your head checked.
And don't be embarrassed. Everyone gets down.
Just remember, when you're dating a girl and tell her you're seeing someone,
it makes you even more dateable, even if that someone is your therapist.
Check your prostate.
Everybody does it, and it can save your life.
Because let's be honest, you always wondered what it would feel like. It's Movember. Wear your stash.
Wear your stash.
Wear your stash.
Wear your stash.
And help bring awareness to men's health.
I check mine when I shave them.
I check mine every 3,000 miles.
I check mine when I put on cologne.
Coach taught us how to check after every game.
It's November, and it's Men's Health Month. So make sure you get them checked.
So anyway, I was like, I cannot tattoo a mouth. You can't. What are you gonna tattoo in a mouth?
Yeah, I'm over it.
I'm over it, man. I've been saying that. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I had an idea for a tattoo. Want to see if you could draw it up? Maybe get a price quote on it. See if it could be done.
Sure. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm sure it can be done.
Good deal.
A sketch pad, man, and tell me what you're thinking about here.
All right. It's gonna be this big scene. It's gonna commemorate my dad.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to watch me when I was a kid.
Yeah, mine too.
So it's gonna be this huge oak tree.
Okay.
It's gonna be in the desert.
Oh, okay.
And the branches are gonna be like human arms,
Okay.
but like wings
Ah,
at the and then there's gonna be like on the left side there's gonna be like angels or owls. Yeah, angels or owls.
Okay.
On the right side, Japanese yakuza,
Mhm.
samurai swords,
Cool.
Chinese lettering.
Gotcha. Cool.
The tree has got to be in the desert. My dad took me to the Grand Canyon, so it's got to be in the desert. The tree also has to be aquamarine.
Okay.
The sky, aquamarine.
Aquamarine.
Did I mention it's going to be in the desert?
Yeah.
My dad took me to the Grand Canyon
Oh wow.
when I was young. It was
Okay.
amazing.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good.
The gargoyles. There's going to be flying gargoyles
Oh,
in the
cool.
sky. They're going to have.
So you want a ninjas?
It's Japanese yakuza. It's like the mafia.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
The gargoyles got to be a sky full of gargoyles. And they're all wearing just Roman plated body armor. And like underneath is going to be like hot chicks, like a ton of hot chicks, like tons of hot chicks. Not too many.
Okay.
But they're going to be anime chicks.
Okay.
I don't want it to look cheesy.
Sure.
Basically, these gargoyles are going to be having sex with these hot chicks.
Okay.
But they're not going to like it a whole
Okay.
lot.
I got you.
But they're going to really,
Oh.
they don't want it, but they do.
They do.
Yeah.
But they don't.
But they don't.
Gotcha.
But they do.
Okay.
All right. And then in the background is going to be smoke and tribal, and it's just all going to blend. Yeah, just like blended in is the smoke and tribal, and I think that would just kind of bring it all together, just blending in with the tree and all that.
So I think you kind of looking for something like that.
No, I have a sketch. Hold on.
You have a
No,
sketch? Okay,
I
I
have
see what
one.
you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you did. Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
All right. Let's go. We'll just paperwork here. And get you out of here as soon as we can.
Yeah. And we're back. I'd just like to say that Kevin Curtin was Quigley in the play, but he's been filled by the capable hands of Rance May. He's going to be joining us on the cast of Honky Tonk Holidays, and that's going to be wonderful. Make sure you get your tickets. They'll be available soon. That'll be December 13th and 14th, coming to Samstown Point. Dwayne's still on a break, but Kyle, let's be honest. You should never leave a lady waiting. Okay, it's a rule that I've learned in my life, and this is a woman of power. She's a woman of industry. She's a woman of influence. She is a power.
Am I late?
Yeah, you're late. She's a force of power down in San Marcos, and it's been a pleasure to know her for as long as I have, and it's been too long since I've talked to her, and I'm so happy that she's joining us tonight. The supermom, stateswoman. We had so many other wonderful things to say about her, and I forgot what I put on the flyer, but here she is. Let's bring her to the show. Kelly Stone, everybody.
Yay.
Welcome, Kelly.
You had mermaid. You called me a mermaid. On the promo. That was flattering.
Now,
Are you a strong swimmer?
I swim, but I paddle. I'm a river woman. I'm a woman of the river.
Paddler.
Now, before you spoil the surprise, yes, you are a river woman. There is a race that starts in San Marcos, right, and it goes all the way to Guadalajara.
The Gulf of Mexico.
The Gulf of Mexico. Okay.
Yeah. It's called the Texas Water Safari, and it's known as the world's toughest canoe race. It's 262 miles, and it goes from source to sea, where the spring from the Edwards Aquifer that forms the San Marcos River starts, and then all the way to Seadrift, Texas, where it ends in the San Antonio Bay in the Gulf of Mexico.
Nice.
Larry says hi. Do you know Larry Hicks? Do you know my buddy Larry? How do you know Larry? Are you? Oh, he says hi, Kelly.
I know. I like my grandfather. His name was
really
Larry.
Tiny picture of Larry down there.
I knew a dog in Philadelphia, a standard poodle with like unkempt hair. His name was
Larry Hicks.
Okay, neither of these people that you knew as Larry are this Larry.
I'm sorry, I don't know Larry.
But you've already got fans. Now listen, you are from where?
Originally from Houston, Texas.
Okay, but you're a Texas girl. Right?
Not but. So you are like, or
yeah,
not? There's no but about that. Yes.
Houston's a weird place.
Listen, I'm from like Houston, like the real Houston, 77373.
What does that mean to the rest of the state?
I played football.
Okay.
I was a kicker on the football team. If you want to try to take away my Texasness, I'll show you. I'd see you. I raise you. I went to gymnastics camp in Ennis, Texas. I taught cheerleading camps all over the state of Texas in little bitty towns. I worked for an agriculture department for a university where I was like a recruiter. So I went to FFA meetings all over the state of Texas where I like convinced
those
parents.
FFA jackets are the shit, ain't they?
Oh my gosh. At the National FFA Convention, they display Kevin Bacon's FFA jacket, and so it just gave me like one closer degree of separation, right? I stood by his jacket in Louisville, Kentucky.
What makes a good recruit? Like when you were going around looking for recruits for the agriculture discipline,
they'd say yes. That's a good recruit. They come to the school, because it's sort of like, it wasn't like this because we didn't have a rodeo team and we didn't like do like a lot of the things where they like that are FFA related, right? So it wasn't like I was like a football scout or like a basketball scout where I was like scouting FFA meetings like for our like, it wasn't like that at all. It was more like, it's way cheaper than the other schools. Standards are lower. Y'all should come.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's your only chance to go to college.
C's are good here.
It's fine. Just come. That's all. And so it was a very glorified like sales position, right?
You're like, look, Jethro, you brought a 3-legged cow to the cow convention, and you should have known this wasn't good,
Oh my God. Yeah, I had
What's really important is you ask them if they can catch a greased pig with one finger. If they can do that, they've got a future as a farmer in America.
Oh.
Let me just stop you. Don't answer that. As I was watching the last video of our montage of break videos, I saw Kelly's face and I was like, oh great, we're bringing Kelly on after 3 dick jokes, and what is it?
Is that what our break videos were?
They were
dick jokes.
They were
I never watch them.
like men's health videos, but they were all funny. Like, hey, you always wondered what it felt like, and then there was the one where the guy was explaining
You really don't have to bring us through them again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch the show again later.
But I guess what I'm saying is, why is it that men are terrible?
Exactly. I'm unsurprised.
I know you weren't surprised because I mean you and I met doing comedy. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I had you on one of my shows. Did you ever do the Cavalcade or we've been on a show together before?
For sure. Many, I believe, like, but I don't remember names of like necessarily, like, like you just do things. Like, I want to say, was it you that was involved in like an in-studio production?
With Dan?
I don't know. I know I wore like a light pink dress.
Maybe.
I don't know.
We did a podcast. Dan French did that thing, and then I don't know if you were on that.
At Mr. Tramp's, it was filmed like a Saturday night show or something. Yeah, I was a guest. I was a sex educator guest on that show.
Yes, and then so there we go. We met doing comedy. You understand, how immature men are, and then like especially like first time somebody's on stage, what they talk about, and then you've got two boys. How is it that you are raising your boys to not be so? And I always read it like the guy would get up there and just talk about masturbating for 30 minutes, and then it's like, or well, he'd get 5 minutes at most, but it was like. It was nerves, and it was not knowing what to do with his own sexuality and how to express it. Are you teaching your boys a different way to be?
What an interesting question, Jimmy Preston. And let me say a couple of things about that. I don't just think that that's exclusive to males in our journey of comedy. I remember, I got feedback very early on that like I was beating people over the head with my sexuality, like that, and it was like, and you see a lot of women do that too. And then they tell like these like stories, right? And not all women and not all men, right? But there is a commonality of that journey. And I think that it's because it's sort of that first time that you're saying things that you haven't been able to say before. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's, to answer your question too, I think it's helpful to have spaces where you can say these things as a process so that it suddenly isn't like novel or new to talk about your dick. Right. You've been doing it, like you've been there, done that. So that way you can like, yes. And already take some of those leaps. So that's what I'm kind of hoping I'm doing with my children. But it's the funny thing that you ask is today is November 21st. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, November 20th was my son's 13th birthday. Mm-hmm. The day before that, November 19th, 2006 was the first time I ever did stand-up comedy. So like my comedy anniversary, like I ended up getting pregnant the first year I started stand-up, and then he was born.
That because you were so funny, you got pregnant?
I mean, you should, wrap it up. Right? Mm-hmm. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, like wrap it up when you see the light. And sometimes you get pregnant.
I thought you were saying
when you
need to wrap it. Yes, condoms will prevent this, but I see what you're saying. Comedy, yes, watch the light.
And wrap, right. So it's all interconnected. But yeah, and there is a video that exists on YouTube of my very first time doing stand-up comedy at Helium Comedy Club in Philadelphia. And I almost shared it today, being like all sentimental, but I've already been sentimental enough on the internet over the last couple of days about my kid's birthday that I can't make it more about me, like with my stand-up comedy. So I'll wait till like next week. I'm
When
always
you're
still
ready
going
to
to make it
share
about
let
me.
us know, and we'll promote that shit for you.
It doesn't matter. Like none of it matters. Nothing matters.
Did you go back and watch? Did you
It's
go
not
back
like you're getting back on stage anywhere anytime soon.
No, she's getting on stage next week. Aren't you doing a show or something? And there's
shows?
Well,
thing.
I've been doing a Zoom show, a show on Zoom called Kelly Stone's Corona Comedy with Candidates Crap Show. And I always have a musical guest, a comedian, and 2 candidates. And then I had a finale because, you know, the election was coming and I needed to stop dragging the shit out, right? The crap show. It's something on the internet. Crap show. So fun. We would open the doors early and then have an after party afterwards. And sometimes the candidates, they would like take off their blazers while they had their martinis. Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, it was great. Sometimes, you know, a lot of women, no sleeves.
That's allowed now.
Yeah, none of them won, which really sucks. Because it was interesting how people like voted for Biden and then voted Republican, like down ballot, like across the US. Like we saw that, you know, and people were, I had a long conversation with a local lady last night and she was like really trying to get me to analyze all the local races. And I was like, they all parallel to what's happened across the US. Like it's an interesting phenomenon. Fuck pollsters, you know, all those things. But what, and bleh. So anyway, I'm going to do a one-off crap show because we have a runoff in San Marcos with 2 races. Like Georgia has 2 runoffs with the 2 Senate races.
Right.
I'm trying to get them to do a pop-in on my show. We'll see, but you at least got to make the ask. Am I right?
Right. Absolutely.
And I think I'm leaning just toward John Ossoff. I feel like Reverend Warnock would like not really appreciate my crap show. And then after analyzing their websites, like he seems way more invested in the DSCC, and it seems like John is like still trying. So what I think might happen, I don't think it's going to be that we get both. I mean, we might get one of them, right? And not 2. And then it'll be an exact 50-50 split in the Senate, or 49-49 split in the Senate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we've got Kamala to break the tie, but
yes, Queen.
Now,
sorry, I'm so excited to have Mama.
I love that she fucking wears Chucks.
I love that she's a fucking woman. Oh my God, we have a woman as vice president, and not only a woman, but a woman of color, and not only a woman of color, like a woman of like South Asian as well as, but like, oh my God. And it's so exciting. It's so exciting. And
she wears Chucks.
Well, and
yes,
yes, she wears Chucks. But haven't you felt, I mean, if you keep watching CNN, MSNBC, or Fox, you can still be bombarded by it. But since the election has pretty much been called, we know that the numbers aren't going to change. Biden is the president-elect. Have you felt a tonal change or shift in the social media that you're because you and I as comedians, we liked a lot of people, or we accepted the friendships of a lot of people just because we needed an audience, and then we were like, the consequences, then we have a bunch of freaking people that aren't even our friends. Do you still have those people? Because I do, and I watch them and I study them like a petri dish. Have you seen it change?
So, I guess I have not just like openly accepted requests, and maybe there's a different, like, as a woman, there's like consequences to that too with weirdos.
Yeah.
And so I think I have more caution, and sometimes like I mean, clearly, if all the mutual friends are comics, and that's exactly why, and I didn't just meet them at something, like they're trying to chalk up theirs, and I don't, like, I'm like, eee. And then I'll like wait until I start to see, or till I meet them, or, you know, so,
or they pop up on as somebody that is like, somebody you know, and they're like, and I'm having this guy that sent you a friend request 5 months ago on the show as the headliner, and then you're like, oh, maybe he's not terrible.
But then usually the thing is like the headliner did not send me a friend request. It's like, it's not usually those people. And like what you're talking about, the people that are annoying you and saying all kinds of stuff that's like, and you're studying them, usually those aren't the headliners. Unless you're talking about, I can think of like one particular person, and I don't even want to name them, and I just unfollowed them.
Him or her?
I think gender is unnecessary.
Okay, there you go. That's what I love about you. Now, and love doesn't mean like romantic love. I mean, like, it doesn't have to mean. But
I mean, if that's the case, like, how would you love your pet? How would you love your children? How would you love cheese? Actually, that's romantic love, 100%. Yeah. Like, I want to put my dick in the cheese. Like, I love cheese.
That.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like 9 Inch Nails, right? Like, like Mike Pence looking at Trump. Like, that's me.
And cheese, yeah.
And the cheese. Like,
I gotta share this so that, you know, if one day I watch my own show, I'll remember this and then actually do it, because I'm not going to do it. Some lady, she took Gouda and then cut it up into little cubes, and then you leave it out for like 48 hours. And then you put it in the oven, but you got to make sure you put something over it because it pops like popcorn, and then it makes little like cheese air puffs. So try that, Kelly.
Oh my God. Yeah, that sounds like homeschool science culinary lessons.
Yeah.
Any of that kind of stuff. It's like, this is homeschool. Let's do it. Like, you know what I mean? It's so fun. Oh, by the way, yes, I am a baby mama, and I am raising children. So
what grades are you having to teach right now?
I mean, whatever. Like, whose boxes are we trying to operate within? You know,
I'm teaching first grade right now, and it is fun as fuck, except for math. Math still sucks.
Yeah, right. We just started
I got
doing
a subtraction question wrong the other day, and my 6-year-old called me out for getting it wrong, and she's like, "How are you supposed to teach me if you can't even get the question right?"
Oh,
single-digit subtraction.
My kid's birthday party, they used this limo pedicab to like cruise around town and like go for a hike and have dinner on top of a tower where they looked at the sunset. It was like really awesome. And then we made name tags for and by all the kids, there were 3 other boys in addition to my sons. And so there were 5 of them in this like limo pedicab. Right, like we were doing all the COVID conscious outdoor, everything. And so we made these buttons as their name tags. And I spelled this one kid's name wrong. and I didn't want to make another button. And when I figured it out, I told his mom I was like, yo, dude, I spelled his name wrong. And she was like, oh, it happens all the time. Da, 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 da. And I was like, well, the thing is if my kids had done the spelling, like everybody's names would have been spelled wrong. Except for Z.
Why you gotta name your kids such a fucked up hard name to spell?
What was the name? No, don't say it.
I can't say children's names.
Don't say kids' names. Okay. That's rude.
I said the one, but because
it was LaMargelo.
It's spelled wrong. No, like just anyway. You're talking about math and like spelling is hard and like all these things. Especially, it's really hard when we have to do it in the way that they say, right? And they've changed even the way math is supposed to be taught. Now you got to think about it like 4 other ways with boxes and different before. And you're not supposed to care about the speed of math. That's not important anymore. It's just about like how they process it. And it's like, but you know what? Like having to be fast makes you have to process it faster. And so like, if the way that they're teaching you is the long cut and you can start to figure out the shortcuts to do it faster, aren't you understanding math better? Like,
why does it seem so much more complicated the way they teach it now?
Because
I learned it fucking 40 years ago.
But what I like is what's really cool about math. There's not one way to really do it. Like there's a variety of ways to solve the problems depending on how you look at it or how you break that problem down. And I think that's the universal language, right? Is like problem solving and breaking it down.
My high school professor, Mr. Lawler, God bless him, every day at the beginning of class would write at the top of the screen, "It's all in the way you look at it." And it's algebra, you know, now granted, the showing your work with the stupid bullshit processes. I don't know if you guys are having to do the 3 lines and then 2 lines intersecting and then another line. Like I've seen some of this.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And
we dropped out of school a while ago. So we've been like hack school, unschool, wild schooling for a while. So we're not like conforming to what we don't have any have tos right now.
Oh, you're homeschooling.
With that respect.
You're homeschooling the boys.
We were doing that before the pandemic. And so it actually made for an easier transition for us, really.
And the kids are all right.
The kids are all right, man. They're so we started doing lessons on, we just did chapter 1 and like started with their expectations of the dandelion insurgency.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar?
No, tell me.
Mm-mm.
Well, do you want to join our study group?
No.
Well, then.
No, it's okay. I'll Google
we're
that
out. Shit. That's it. We just get told it's called the dandelion insurgency. But can I get like a little taste? What am I getting at this study group?
Well, we just started with chapter 1, which is only a page and a half. And we broke down the words dandelion and insurgency and what those words made us feel and think and expect. We also read the letter to the readers from the study guide to help us figure out. So it has an accompanying study guide. And but it's about what was interesting was none of them actually knew the definition of insurgency.
An insurgency is what? Like I guess the definition insurgency would be some sort of outside force trying to break up the command structure of another occupying force or something. What?
Uprising, revolt, rebellion. Yeah.
From within?
Insurrection.
But is it from within or from without?
Well, insurgency, I think usually with the word in probably does mean from within. But it's a rising up, right? And so that was interesting. And so, but it's about, using nonviolence and creating systemic change. And so
putting those flowers in the barrels,
That's what we're doing in homeschool. Fuck your math worksheets.
Now, how did your boys, and this is the one thing that I do love about Facebook, and I know it's kind of creepy that I'm gonna now comment. Like I saw the posts over the last couple days of you getting ready for the birthday party. I saw the post of them on the rickshaw, the pedicab.
The limo pedicab.
And then he let your boy drive the pedicab. Must have been really exciting. So they had fun despite the circumstances. But not only that, like looking back to you and your decision to run last spring, you put your hat in the ring.
I started running last summer.
Right.
July of 2019, I started running.
You started running for the Democratic primary to take over the spot of railroad commissioner?
Well, there's
What?
three railroad commissioners. So to take over
I had no idea.
over one of the spots. Yeah. So there's 3 railroad commissioners, and they each hold 6-year terms like senators.
Are they regional, or they're on a board?
They're all statewide. And so they have staggered terms. So every 2 years, one of their seats comes up. And so one of the seats, Ryan Sitton, who owned his own petroleum company, was, and even like when you had run originally, they said conflict of interest, like his clients are Exxon, like all of the, oh, so skeezy. And so anyway, and then, he made these videos. I'm sure they're taken down by now, but if not, I'm going to try to find them. Where he was doing like health tips and stuff with like Ryan Sitton, and he'd be like, I was thinking about health and wellness, and some people intermittently fast, and I'm like, you're a railroad commissioner, and you just did all these curls to be looking all. Anyway, this was the motherfucker. And I was like, I got to run against this guy. This is insanity, right?
Right.
And so I entered the race in July of 2019. And then Krista Castaneda entered in October of 2019. And she was, the chosen one, oil and gas defense attorney, like had worked with T. Boone Pickens, like all this stuff. Anyway, fast forward to right in the last hour, 2 dudes were like, you know what? I'm gonna run in this race too. One of them on the ballot, his name was Beto, but he's not the Beto O'Rourke, different Beto. He never went by Beto until like on this ballot. Anyway, so I lost on Super Tuesday, but I got over 380,000 votes, which was more votes than Elizabeth Warren and Michael Bloomberg in the state of Texas.
How many of those votes do you think was because they mistakenly thought you were Sharon Stone?
Actually, you know that Kelly Stone is Sharon Stone's sister.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. If you Google me, I don't come up. I mean, I do like eventually, but Kelly Stone, Sharon Stone's sister, and there's a defense barrister, which is like a defense attorney in England named Kelly Stone that takes on like the seediest cases. And so, because I do Google alerts, right, on my name, of course. So
what are you afraid of? Who's coming after you? Who's putting fake stuff out there? Who do we need to? Do you want us to take them out, or are you fully capable, as a strong, capable woman, of taking care of these problems on your own? You don't need a man, do you?
If I needed a man, I'd ask one, Jimmy. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I like the way she works. Yeah.
This is above your level in terms of, and it's more like I've actually wondered the levels of surveillance that I've been under, like since, because like when I entered the race with negative dollars, Ryan Sitton already had $4 million in his campaign coffer. And I was like, hey guys, here's my hand painted sign. I'm wearing this sequin leotard. I'm on skates. I'm in a parade. I'm going to be your railroad commissioner.
We about to run a train on this state.
No.
Damn it. Yeah. Inappropriate. Dwayne.
I did do a whistle stop tour. But let's not say I wasn't going to non-consensually put my dick in the state. Like 100%. Like we were going to, like, with consent, all like an orgy. I wanted to orgy the state consensually.
Yeah.
Like with clean air and water.
Some white rocks, garden gnomes.
This is kind of off topic, but 69 on a first date, yes or no?
No.
Yeah, right?
No,
you do not jump in. Don't just do the switcheroo.
What a random change up, by the way, Jimmy.
But I just needed to know.
And I did just make a post where I talked about the number 69 with my kids. I don't know if you saw that.
Is that a same-sex date or an opposite-sex date?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
Because no matter what, your standards should be the same.
Yeah.
Period. Like... But no, like, didn't your mother teach you not to put your mouth, on strange things, on things that you don't know? Like, no, first date, like, you ain't be knowing somebody's like risk-taking behaviors, status.
Jimmy feels like he's a good judge of character, though.
I've done the arm. I've seen the move happen, and I've arm blocked it. Like, no.
That's
Anyway,
where jujitsu comes in handy.
tell us this railroad commissioner position. It's all a ruse. Like, somebody, I bet 90% of the state in the electorate believe that the railroad commissioner is just some guy that organizes all the engineers that pull the choo-choo
For the
thing.
railroads, they have nothing to do with the railroads, and it's been slowly drifting away.
Which is why they all come from oil and gas.
Well, that's what it is. It is they only control the oil and gas. They don't control the railroads. So they control the oil, gas, and pipelines in the state of Texas. And a part of that means that they also they control our air and the safety practices, because fracking, which has increased exponentially, which has also increased earthquakes significantly in Oklahoma, that has never even historically experienced earthquakes ever. But then where they're fracking, what they're using is the water from surrounding areas to mix with fluids that they don't even have to tell us what is in them, because that's proprietary information that they shoot into the shale to break it up to get down to the oil. And the process of getting down to that emits natural gas. And that is not cost effective for them. They need that black gold, that Texas tea, right? So sometimes they just vent it and they just let the natural gas go into the air, or they send it up a tube on fire and they light it on fire into the air. So the communities, which are climate refugees, they're expendable. Like, they're treated like these are our first line defenders, are the people that live in these communities, and they're defending us with their bodies, right? But
they're the ones that, in 10 years, when they start getting all the cancers, we're
and their kids' asthma rates, the premature birth rates, the maternal morbidity and mortality rates, all of these things are increased. And so that was the part.
Republican voters numbers go up. Like, the more they're poisoned, the more they vote Republican. That's what I learned.
Because they're making more money. They don't care how much they get poisoned, as long as their pockets are lined.
And so that's why transition is hard. And so what we have to do is transition these people who work, and they also, it's not just the people that live in these communities, but of course the workers who are, pumping and taking on so much risk. Sorry, I'm not seeing all the comments.
Oh, Dave
I'm not either. I'm the one supposed to put them on screen.
He said, He said, but I think that was from a while ago.
It's fine.
Yeah, this probably came in 20 minutes ago.
But so that's why we have to transition. So they still, if they were getting paid the same amount of money to plug wells, to install solar panels, to do that, so what we have to have is a livable wage, and a livable future. And so we have to work, and that's why a Green New Deal is so important, is because because when we say that we have to make these reductions in our CO2 emissions and in our oil usage and no expansion, and we need to divest from fossil fuel, all these kinds of things, right? That causes the industry to have to make changes and to transition. And if we subsidized transition as opposed to antiquated technologies of fossil fuels like this, it's coal. And I mean, that's what Trump said. He was going to bring back coal jobs. That's basically what the Railroad Commission is doing, is perpetuating these coal jobs. And
I was really hoping
canary breeders got excited.
I was excited that maybe, because there was a point where I was kind of on the fence. I might have been for Trump if he would have brought back using whale blubber to make oil.
Or perfume, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The jinkum. Is that what the whales poop out? Jinkum.
I mean, didn't we see?
That's fermented piss.
Star Trek 4. Star Trek 4, right? That's the one where they had to like get the whales from the 90s.
The Undiscovered Country. Was that the one?
Have you not? No, it's the one with the whales. The Star Trek movie.
I remember they put them in the holodeck or something in like some sort of container.
That was the one thing that could be done to repopulate their society and keep everything in the future. But whales went extinct like after the 90s, and they were like way in the future. So they had to go back in the past to get a whale. And it was their like the whale song. And that's like what did it. Almost like the Wild Stallions like hit. Like it was the thing that like saved the future, right?
It was like it's two heads are better than one. It's double your pleasure, baby, triple the fun. I said 2 heads are better than one. Something or other. That I think that was the hit. That was the hit on the soundtrack. For
you had the soundtrack?
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
I did. It was a good soundtrack. I'm not gonna
the new movie.
But so I lost the race, and so did Krista. But the thing is Ryan Sitton lost the race in the primary, so he was unseated. The Republican was unseated after the primary. He still held out his term, right, until the formal election. But James Jim Wright unseated him in the primary as a Republican. And he used the name in quotation marks Jim, and he didn't go by that. He's James Wright. But he has more than 250 violations from the Railroad Commission. That dude just got elected in November to the Railroad Commission.
He wears a cowboy hat, doesn't he?
Oh my God.
You wear a cowboy hat?
Ew. Do you know, oh my God, in these political meetings where I had to go, like how many grown ass men wear tiny cowboy hats, and they are like real proud of them.
I feel like if you're running for railroad commissioner, especially as a man, it's required that you wear a cowboy hat in any of your advertisements or campaign.
Yeah, that was Mark Watson. You guys should Google him and his pictures and look at his tiny cowboy hat. And he said it was called like the Johnson or like LBJ, but it was like small. Anyway, that's what I was like up against. And we raised all of $38,000, and I got 380,000 votes. And so I'm real proud.
That's a good return on your money.
Definitely a good return.
And organic, grassroots campaign. I think it's now who won? Like, how many votes were you away from the winner in the primary?
So I got, I think I got, was it 24%? And so it was, I don't know. I got 3rd place. And so it went to a runoff with Krista and Beto. And then she destroyed him. And I think she was sweating, and she and I ended up communicating throughout the way. I had a nice bottle of champagne sent to her on election night.
Yeah.
And I called her the next day, and I told her, because it's true. I was like, it didn't occur to me that you could lose. Like, I thought for sure we had this crazy blue wave. I thought every state was going to go blue. I thought it was going to be like this, like, referendum. And then
you were reading those polls.
Yeah. So
Wayne doesn't believe the polls anymore.
Yeah.
No,
nobody should. Nobody should. Fuck the polls.
Nobody answers the phone. They're calling people on the phone. They're going through phone books. I've been one of those callers, you know?
Yeah, I have a landline phone that I got for the boys as a gift one year. And so they were the ones that responded to these like push buttons.
Right. I remember as a kid, I used to always do, I answered a poll for like Reagan, you know, back in the day. I'm looking at your website, Vote K Stone. It says an educator, environmental activist, a mother of 2, I'm running for Texas Railroad Commissioner to protect and defend our environment from big oil's greed and destruction. And I believe you, and I supported you, and I voted for you. And
Thank you.
I hope that this isn't the last we hear of Kelly Stone in politics. And I know that you're still fighting because you love San Marcos, and I love San Marcos. I'm a Texas State grad. And you love Texas State, I'm sure, or maybe not. Maybe you hate them.
Well, I have a long story. You can read about it in the Chronicle of Higher Education and what happened to me there. But no, my heart, like this tattoo is the San Marcos River, and I've paddled the river all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. And so, but I have a show coming up on December 4th. So you and your listeners, if you want to check it out, it is a one-off crap show for the runoffs called The Runs. And I've already booked Omar Baca, who's running for place 5 of the San Marcos City Council. It's a 1-year special election, as well as Miguel Arredondo, who's running for mayor, and he's in a runoff against Jane Houston. And on the crap show, it's only a friendly audience, so I only invite the people I like. So I'm not inviting the candidates that I don't want people to hear from or to vote for. So
no equal time here.
No, because it's a comedy show. I'm not the media. It's a private comedy show. And so it's in Zoom. It is not streamed. It is not archived. And so either you were there in the room or you weren't. It's a really good time. And we also have a musical guest and a comedian. So I would love for you to come.
How are they finding that? They just going to Funny Kelly on Facebook?
Oh, I guess so for right now, because I haven't even made the event.
Okay, it's Facebook.com/Funny Kelly.
Yeah.
And you are, and that's rare because women aren't normally funny.
No, Jimmy.
Oh, and so you talked about my campaign website. And so if people want to, thank you for plugging that in, Kyle, at Funny Kelly. But my personal webpage is kellystone.org. And there's an email way that you can also contact me should you need for any appearances or other
she's
things.
Contactable, but she may not accept your friend request right away unless she sees that you're, if she sees that you're a mutual friend of mine, definitely not going to approve your friend request. Kelly, we normally do memes. We go through some memes. Can you join us for this?
Sure.
Okay, let's Kyle is like, we're gonna run late. So here, let's do the memes. All right. Honestly, can't wait till 2020 is over. But what if 2021 tells 2020 to hold my beer? And then Dwayne The Rock Johnson turns around and looks at them in the back seat like, oh my God, you're right. Okay, next.
You know those things where you have to, like, people post where you have to Google fucking Jimmy, you dick. Where you got to Google your name. I can't do those things because every time I Google my name, fucking The Rock comes up. It sucks.
Oh, shut up. Because you spell Dwayne the same way?
Yeah, DWAYNE. The way it's supposed to be fucking
Dwayne's
spelled.
got a serious problem with this meme.
I hate this fucking meme.
The DiCaprio meme. Do you have a problem with it? Do you hate him?
No, I love him so much. And when I was in college for one of my birthdays, one of my sorority sisters gave me a book of all photos of Leonardo DiCaprio. This was
just photos of Leo.
Yep.
To be, I've got nothing against Leo. I love him as an actor. He's probably a wonderful person. And I expect a photo of him from every movie he's in to become a meme.
Next.
But this one is too much.
Oh, did we skip one? No. Someone bring a turkey to smoke? Nobody.
Me. Smoked a turkey all fucking day.
This is what I'm going to be doing on Thanksgiving. And I'm not going to see any family, and no one's going to die. Okay, next.
Just a hitch.
I like how you did that.
Yeah.
That was good. Thank you.
When you text her to calm down, and then you spend 15 minutes staring at the typing ... I am not in a relationship, and I'm lonely. Okay, next.
I saved that ... GIF for the longest time, and we could send it to people.
To text a woman and make her mad enough to type for 15 minutes. Next. I forgot to ask Kevin about our buddy Sean Powell. I need to get him on the show. There's an article that Kevin just wrote about how he's the inspiration for. Oh, I closed the article for this new movie that this guy's up for an Emmy or something. Anyway, he shares a lot of memes. Have they kept you alive, Kelly? Or do you love the memes?
No, I'm not a meme.
Okay.
No. And is this from a movie like with like evil babies?
It's probably fucking TikTok.
Next. I didn't even think about the next. I don't know what that is.
Hold on, was that Legos?
Oh yeah, I screenshotted it and sent it to CJ Morgan. There was a yard sale with a bunch of
fucking Lego fetish. He does look like Penguin.
Did you guys see the dripping of the hair dye off the side of his face? Did you?
Yeah, that was funny.
What is this man is falling off the rails?
He quoted my cousin Vinny.
This guy was at one point the savior of America. He and George W. Bush helped put this country back together after a terrorist attack that they allowed to happen.
You know what I thought was interesting today? They asked if they knew of any other presidents doing this, and the guy on NPR was like, "No, I don't think this has ever happened before." And I was like, "You should have answered that with the different presidents of other countries that installed themselves as a dictator, like because there have been other presidents."
Just not U.S. presidents,
right? And to make that distinction, and yet also make it clear that we've been aware of coups in motion or coups in action, and we have, you know what I mean? Like what's taking place right now, that's what's happening right now is like, and they're even being clear that he's trying to overthrow it. I'm sorry. Fuck Rudy Giuliani. Oh my
God. This Charlie Kelly pretending to be a lawyer, except it's things Rudy Giuliani.
That shit's funny.
This is one of the funniest. The words are too small to read, but if you see, I'm not sure what opacity means, but it probably means you can see. And then there's some other ones you got to read it. They're hilarious. But anyway, Josh Billingson next. I'll never see a man's body.
This is Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah. Do you see it?
Ass
Do you
Conan's
see
got.
it? Do you see it?
I do see it.
I was like, that bicep is weirdly shaped.
It didn't look right. And the neck, like the tan and also the highlighting is not the same. And they tried to make it look with what they did under his eyes, but that just looks all weird. Like he's playing like glow footballs, right? Like, do y'all see these like streaks under his eyes, like the football, except it's like, it's super highlighted.
Yeah. Next. This holiday season, turn off your mind, become a frog.
Man, stop trying to turn people into frogs, bro.
Okay. Look, the guy.
There it is.
You ever dance with the devil of the Four Seasons total landscaping parking lot? Next. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
It just freaks me out. This cat. This is not even a meme, really. It's just a dad joke I sent to a friend.
Dad joke.
I don't know how this.
I think that's a better one if told aloud versus as a meme visually, because like my friend Joe recently went on the Dolly Parton date. It really made Jolene. Like you can really.
Have you ever listened to that 45 slowed down? It's something. If you've never heard it, it's the Dolly Parton version slowed down. It'll put tingles, goose pimples all over your pimple areas. Next. I don't understand that. This popped up, and
You weren't a VeggieTales fan?
Oh, okay. Is there a backstory? What am I not missing?
It's Veggie Tales. It's what
you
was
know
the fucking
Veggie Tales,
tomato's
right?
name?
It's Jesus-y. It's like a Christian
Yeah, it's like a Christian cartoon for kids.
So what they're saying is that Christians are hypocrites.
Mm-hmm.
And that they're like, oh, let us pray together, because that's what they do at the end of every fucking Veggie Tale episode. But then they're like, nah, like I'm about my guns. Like, so they're talking about the hypocrisy of Christianity.
Wow.
Like this is the most cerebral meme you've shown so far.
Hold on, there's another Leo one coming right up.
Oh, I love Leo.
Oh, I wanted Kevin to see this one. Get whatever baby monitor you think is best. I trust your judgment. Next.
That is not a baby monitor, sir.
Wait, go back. Are they the same, or is one an aardvark and the other one is a thing? Like, did one
one's a monitor.
Or is that its tail?
Yeah,
Are we looking at its ass on the left
No,
side?
his tongue is sticking out.
It's his
got a
tongue.
long tongue. It's like Gene Simmons level tongue.
Oh my god, that's creepy.
They smell with their tongue. Forked, Kelly.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't understand.
Okay. We totally expected you to not get some of these.
I definitely get this one.
Now listen, when you're looking at this, you're like, okay, Dan Aykroyd, don't kill Patrick Swayze, you know, because they're about
this whole time I was thinking, what does Dan Aykroyd have to do with Whoopi Goldberg?
Well, that's the thing. Do you understand? When I'm the only
Patrick Swayze's a ghost.
He's a ghost.
Whoopi Goldberg was the one that saw him, right?
She was the meme. Or
she
not
got
the meme.
possessed and then had sex with Demi Moore.
The medium.
And
she got possessed by the ghost of Patrick Swayze and then had that lesbian love scene with Demi Moore.
For just a moment.
Okay, so listen, when you
it wasn't longer than that.
That's somebody's body. We gotta. Trying to ask her if he possesses her body. Is that we're seeing this from like Demi Moore's perspective and seeing Patrick Swayze? It was really Whoopi Goldberg. That's what, as a kid walking out of the movie, I was like, but wait, that was.
But at this part, he wasn't a ghost yet.
Body.
No, he's a ghost in this part. Like this whole clay scene, they're like, yeah, it's like naughty ghost sex, right? Or did they do this before he died?
They did the clay scene before he died.
He's already dead. And he was already dead, and then he gets Whoopi Goldberg to go over to Demi's house to talk to her, to tell her
clay.
No, but this is a valid point. Like in the movie, like this scene happened. It's like the sexy scene of like how hot they are before he died.
No, he's dead.
No, this is totally before he died.
That's how this meme works, because he's dead.
This meme doesn't work because of this.
Yeah, there's a flaw in this meme.
He's not dead in this scene.
There was no Potter's
There's
wheel
no ghost here.
Yeah.
It was Whoopi Goldberg.
Vinkman's in the wrong fucking spot.
No.
Wait, was that Vinkman?
There was not a scene where Whoopi Goldberg is straddling her.
Yes.
Demi Moore.
There was where they were kissing.
Okay, look.
Kyle's done with this meme.
What's something that feels British but isn't? The contents of the British Museum. This is so true. We're talking about this and stealing mummies. All of the British history is just conquests of other nations. True or false, Kelly?
I thought about getting one of my girlfriends a t-shirt for Christmas that says, "Not today, colonizer."
Next. Kyle's good to move us. It was good to move us away from the whole okay, next. These are the guys that you were talking about running for railroad commissioner with that tiny hat.
Yeah,
that guy was railroad commissioner.
That's the guy that won.
Oh no, he was weights and measures, right? Weights and measures.
That's James Jim Wright right there, you guys.
Christ.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at. And then up next is Wayne Christian in 2022. No different.
You got any more, Kyle? We got any more? We playing. Oh. Next. Oh, this is a great story. My coworker told me he got banned from a bar when he lived in North Dakota back in '73. Didn't try going back to it for 30 years, but he finally did. And the moment he stepped in, someone yelled, "Get the hell out of here!
Get the hell out of here, Dennis!"
And that is great. I hope that everybody's like that in this world. Never forget your grudges. Next.
Oh, fuck.
Next. It's getting cold out there, so put on all your clothes. Next. Next.
I mean, that's valid.
This is funny. I'm thinking about doing this. I was lonely until I glued a cup of coffee to my car. I've seen it with a baby. You get more dramatic results. All right.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, if you're looking for a smile
What's
and a
sad
wave.
about that is you can see the reflection of what's you can see in the car, so nobody's waving at him.
is that it, Kyle?
That's true.
Is that it?
What is this?
It's oh no. Oh,
no, wait,
go
go back.
one more.
Let me see Jesus.
Jesus doesn't want to watch you masturbate.
He just can't help it.
Next, and this is me as a child. The lovely Jimmy.
Speaking of masturbating and Jesus, could you imagine how easy it is for him to masturbate with the holes already there?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Double
So,
action. Oh, wow.
Dwayne, it's not
Yes.
appropriate.
Sorry.
Kelly, you've been
He
on.
can even do it with his feet.
We had you on for almost a whole hour, and thanks for talking with us. December 4th, you're doing the thing,
Kelly
the
Stone's
runs.
Corona Comedy with Candidates crap show, a one-off crap show for the runs.
Cool. And we'll put a link up there for you. And thank you so much for joining us. I hope to have you again soon. Let's talk about your next run when you decide what you're gonna do. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Kelly. Wow.
Bye.
Kyle, I'll get you out of here. And with that, Kyle, we're gonna play a song. Do we have a song from Dwayne?
Are we doing
Mark?
something? I didn't. I never.
Nobody gave me a link, so no.
No.
Oh, well then Kyle, come on here.
Kyle, get in here.
Get over here.
What up?
Good job. Good job
Thanks, buddy.
tonight.
Thanks for everything. Sorry, we did run late. I thought we'd started the memes in time to finish.
Did we go over 6 minutes? It's 6 minutes.
Okay, it's no big deal.
You
Thanks.
start
everybody.
stressing out.
And Larry, I think the
Had
real
the Alabama game on in your prism behind you.
No, it's Oklahoma State, and so maybe we'll get Bill on to talk about the play next week. That'll be fun. And then, guys, thanks to Kevin Curtin, thanks to Kelly Stone for coming on the show. But more importantly, I'm very thankful for you, Dwayne. I'm thankful for you, Kyle. Thank you for
Put
putting
out a beer. Stop saying thanks.
And I'm out as well, but I'm gonna get one as soon as we're done. So thank you everybody for listening.
Everybody, have a happy Thanksgiving this week. Whether you're getting together with family or fucking off on your own at your own fucking spot, eating some turkey dinner, frozen TV dinner, Swanson.
Do it safe. We want to
banquet, Black Hawk.
We depend on you listening to the show to give us validation to
Boston Market
continue on. And if one of you dies, that's like 10% of our audience. So
hopefully you got some weed. If you got that, smoke that shit all day.
Thank you so much, everybody, and visit all of our sponsors and
check me out on Strain in Society. Not this week, but probably like in 2 weeks.
It's the least we could do. We'll see you next week. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Peace.